Hello and welcome to Transform My Trading. Today is Friday, October 31st, the last day of October 2025. And I want to cover quickly NQ and ES. We had a pretty good trading day, and ES gave actually kind of a better signals, but NQ was pretty good as well. On both markets, I'm going to kind of give you guys the 5 minute overview and then move on to the 1 minute just so we could show you guys the trades because I usually trade based on the 1 minute. Sorry guys, my mouse is not working. Let me change the battery. All right. So here we go. So this is NQ at the 5 minute chart. Market when it opened, and just quickly, let me kind of tell you guys what the lines are so that way you guys are aware before I start. The red lines are TMT support and resistance levels. The green angles are TMT support and resistance angles. The blue solid lines are overnight high and low. The dot or dash blue line is the day session open. This gold line is overnight open, the global X open. And this black line is yesterday's close. So those are the lines that I put on there. I think they're important. So that said, the market opened right there and it traded below the open all day. So that was a indication that we're going to have a low down day today. Market did come down to this level. This was a good place actually on a 1 minute. I'll show you guys to go long. You see how this level here, it acted as support 1, 2, and 3 times here. This reversal was an awesome trade right there. And then market climbed back up and tried to reach the day session open, but never did. And it dropped from there on. So kind of, you guys could see the 5 minute, but let's move on to 1 minute. So that way you guys could look at, or we could go over the signals or the entries. Again, the market opened. I usually don't trade much of this wave here. I let the markets do a thing and come back to me with a good signal. And that good signal came around here at around 7:22 area of Pacific Standard Time. When the market came down here, touched this level, it went back up, came back down here, did a double bottom right there with a divergence on RSI. This was an excellent trade to go long. Okay, there were a bunch of short trades as well. Do you guys see how this angle, this green line acted as resistance right there? It touched there, it touched there. Now, those could have been a scalping trade, but I usually didn't trade those, even though they were tradable. My trade was this one. And then I let the market climb back up. It did break the overnight low, and you guys, the other thing here, let me expand this. The overnight low, and there was a TMT level right there. So that's a duplicate level. That's when we have a duplicate like that. I like to see TMT level along with the angle and one other line come together, like a overnight low or high, day session open, global X open, or something like that. And I'll show you guys on ES how that came through today. So then market climbed back up. Again, like I said, it tried to break this level here and the day session open. It never did. There was a good scalping short right there, but the ideal short was right here. When the market tried again to do a double top, we have a divergence there. And it didn't break through the angle, didn't break through the level, neither reached the day session open. That was a good place to go short. Okay. And there were a bunch of continuation trades here as we went further down, along with some scalping long trades. Like this was a scalping long trade right there. And market did come back down. There was another good long trade right there, especially since it broke this level here. The next trade, if you guys wanted to do a very solid trade on the downside, when the market tried to break on the upside, but it wasn't able to, it went further down. This black line here, the yesterday's close, came back to touch that line and retest it, and it dropped considerably from there. Okay, so that was another good place to go short right there. Now the bottom here was pretty, I would have loved it to be at the TMT level, but unfortunately it was just in the middle between two lines. So I didn't trade much on the bottom right there, even though we had we have a double bottom with divergence. So the way I looked at this trade here, or this part here, is I wanted to see if the market is going to bottom at one point. And that's what it did actually with this signal right here. And I didn't trade here because I wanted the market to give me a solid signal to be on the long side. And that solid signal came back when this right here didn't continue on the downside. It started going back up. It did break this level and this angle. So this was a good place to go long right there. Okay. And then the second place to go long on the continuation side, it was right there. Market came down, tried to touch this level here, came down, tried to touch the angle here, but never really made it, which that meant it was there was more buyers than sellers in the market. This was a good place to go long as well. There was a scalping short right there. And then you could have done by the day, but I want to show you guys the end of the day, what happened when the market came back up to the to the overnight low and did a reversal right there, broke through this angle there and broke through this level here. If you didn't sell here, you should have sold it here. Okay, so there was a good sell signal at the end of the day, and I'll show you guys it was even better on ES. Let's look at ES chart as well. So ES, again, the same thing, opened and it traded below the open all day long and had very, very similar structure as NQ. But the signals were much predictable and concise on ES. And that's what I'm going to show you guys. So we are about, it's about 8 minutes into it. So I want to try to keep this as 10 minutes and below. Okay, so the market dropped. If I didn't trade anything here, the ideal trade for the day was here, right there. And remember I told you guys I like to see the price to come down to or go up to TMT level, angle, and another support or resistance level like day session open, overnight high and low, global X open, or yesterday's close. This was right here. Time and price came together. We have the angle, we have the level, and we have yesterday's close right there. That was an awesome place to go long, and especially since we have a divergence as well. Okay, so price here was coming down. We had RSI around here. Price went further down. RSI was higher. Price went further down to our level, angle, and yesterday's close, and RSI was even higher, just above 30 right there. All right, so that was a good place to go long, and then you could have stayed with it if you wanted to. I'm a very fast trader. I don't have the patience to stay in a trade all the time. So I just take my profits and get out. If I take this is, let's say, 10 points, if I take 3 or 4 points out of that I'm satisfied. I'm not looking to get all these 10 points. Now, this is more than 10 points, but just for example. So then the next trade would have been when the market came back up to the day session open and the TMT level. There was a good trade right there, but I didn't take it because I really wanted to have a divergence with a double top, and that came right here and right there, ideally right there. When look at this divergence right there. This was a scalping trade. This you could have wrote down all the way down here. And one other thing I want to show you guys, just like I mentioned here, we have TMT level, angle, and the yesterday's close was together. Then we had a duplicate here as well, TMT level and day session open. So that's a strong support and resistance level. So market dropped. There were some scalping trades right there. You guys see how this level was acting as support, but it did break through it. So once it broke through it, it came back to test it from underneath. This was a good place to go short too if you wanted to go continuation short. Okay. Then market dropped to here and to the angle acted as a support. It gave us a good signal to go long, and we had a good kind of a decent divergence right there. All right. And came back to the same level again and acted as resistance. By the way, these levels, they're interchangeable. Throughout the day, they're going to act as resistance and as support as the day moves forward. And just like you guys could see here, here it acted as support, here it acted as resistance, here it acted as resistance. So market dropped, and we had a much better signal on ES at the bottom. It came down and it did a double bottom at the angle with a divergence. This was a great place to go long. And now if you didn't want to be that aggressive, you could have gone long here once it broke this level. Okay. So, and then continued higher. There was no need to trade around here, guys. So we should have been done by now anyway. But just for the sake of education and just so you guys could see the power of TMT levels and angles, I want to show you guys what happened in the afternoon. Market climbed all the way back up. And well, before I do that, I want to show you guys here. So as the market climbed back up, it broke this level here. Remember, this level was acting as resistance now. It did break through it. It came down and retested and continued higher. You could have traded here too if you really wanted to. I didn't trade that. But here, market came back up. It tried to touch the day session open. It barely reached there and then broke the overnight open. It did a resistance there that that was a good place to go short. And once it broke there, it came back up and touched the angle there. There was another place to go short. So at the end of the day, we had a really good short signals. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the trading day today. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to discuss this further. Thank you.